let's get right to it. We'll get to all the hunting and lifestyle stuff a little bit later, but I am so interested. Congrats on the toy machine.
Yeah.
How
Thank you.
did that come about? Well, listen, Freedom, loved it. You actually sent us some boards made by Freedom. You had the 9 Club screened on there, nice little laser etching on there. It was great. We just showed out of nowhere. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Hey, you're welcome.
And it was cool, man. So what happened? What transpired?
I mean,
with the
a lot
toy
happens
machine?
in 5 years. In skateboarding, a lot happens in 1 year, right?
You got that right.
It's just to be straight. Like, I didn't want to do it the same way as I did before. If you know what I mean, with a board company, it's so much work. It's so much 24/7, and I'm not in that stage of my life. Do you know what I mean? I've got 2 kids and a partner, and I can't be having like guys sleeping on my couch all day long the same way. But having said that, also, like, it kind of dawned on me, I don't want to spend every single day of my life just making skateboards or being, it's a little too much when you've done it your whole life like that. So there was a little bit of are you going to jump in full steam? Because it was working. Like, the boards were selling, the brand was doing good.
Great name.
But something told me, no, this isn't where you put all your eggs right now. No, focus on your skating. Don't let anything get in the way. And when you put too much business around, like the physical side of it, especially as a pro skater or a pro skater that wants to own their own businesses or own their own skateboard company, there's a labor of love a lot to that. It's a very difficult business. And I just didn't want to take away from my actual skateboarding. That's the just honesty of it, is that I realized I can't do all of that like that. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
For sure.
Because it takes a lot to curate and build a team and put all that together, and you have to put carrots in front of everybody to help them, make all the right steps and all of that. And I thought, I'm not quite in that frame of my life right now, and I don't want to let my skating go.
Sure.
Like, there's that, when you've got a family and other obligations around you, like, I've always been that guy that, like, I always protected my skating so that I could always feel confident and always enjoy it.
What do you mean protected?
If some things become a bigger priority than your skating, or some things are a distraction from your skating, whether it's a girlfriend, whether it's children, whether it's a business, whether it's family matters, whether it's personal.
Sure.
Like, I think, or at least I feel like one of the reasons why I'm still here and still an active pro at like 48, I haven't turned pro when I was like 16 or 17 years old, was that. It's like, anytime anything might get in the way of your everyday skating too much, you need to watch out for that. Right?
Sure.
Like, and there was a little bit of where I felt like maybe I couldn't do all that again, build a whole big team, make all videos and go through all that again. And maybe that wasn't the point. Maybe the point was I need to make sure my skating was good. And that kind of dawned on me a little bit of just less is more. Step back and just maybe ride for a brand with a team that you like, a team that's progressive and a team that's young and fun, but also active, doing things. That's the best scenario for Geoff. Like, if I'm on a team like that that's just positive and progressive, then my skating gets better.
And that is Toy Machine, 100,000%. We just had Braden Hoban on the show, and like, those guys travel so much. Their whole video is based on traveling. Like, it seems like that it's a perfect opportunity for you to jump in there, go on a trip or two, be with the team.
Yeah, I'm down for any of that. I mean, I still travel a lot skating. I still drive everywhere while I'm filming. I'm never afraid to get in the car and go wherever I need to go to get a trick. Like, I still feel like that, but when you have to pull other people along and all of that kind of side of it, I don't think that's the best use of my time right now. And yeah, Toy Machine was a good fit. I mean, I've always loved Ed. I've always loved Ed's artwork and his graphics and his just feeling and take on skateboarding. I've always enjoyed it. I've always felt like it had that like skate rat edge to it, and none of the rest of the brands have that feeling.
Interesting.
Like almost like a more relatable and a little bit more of a conversation than too strong of a brand, thing. And I always liked that about Toy Machine. And I love Ed. I mean, I moved to the US in 1994, and like one of the first people I started skating with, and probably the person I skated a lot most with, was Ed Templeton and Jeremy Klein a lot back then. And I gravitated more skating with Ed a lot because he lived across the road from me. So it was just natural. You know, I became a good friend of Ed a long time ago, and we had a lot in common. We like the same music. We have similar fucked up humor. You know, I love drawing. You know, I always sketch out everything I do. I even sketed out the fist over there and sent the sketch to Ed. So it's kind of like this.
It's already made,
and I sketched that thing on the top, and I said, kind of like that as well. So I always liked that side of it, and it was pretty. I mean, I called Sinclair first because I thought it'd be funny to call Sinclair, not Ed.
The team manager.
Yeah. I called the team manager and asked, "What do you think?" Asked the team manager, "Can you ask Ed?"
What?
and that's what he did.
No, he did it.
Yeah, he did.
I swear to God.
Yeah.
He backdoored it.
Sinclair, like,
that was it. I just threw it on the table. I'm like, hey. He's like, oh, I'll ask some of the guys, see what the team thinks, see everyone, I'll get back to you.
Wow.
You know?
That's incredible.
Yeah,
I love that you went through that.
Throw yourself
process.
on the table sometimes. You've got to be a lamb to the slaughter every now and again, right? And, yeah, he could have said no. Could have said, you're old. No, we don't need you. You hunt too much.
Listen, Sinclair.
You don't skate.
Jeff, I almost feel like if the flip thing never happened, you would have been on Toy Machine from the very beginning.
I mean, I'd have always been naturally comfortable riding for Toy Machine. I know that.
Right, yeah.
So, in a nutshell.
It makes perfect sense.
I got out of all the artwork out there on skateboards as well. Like, you can ride for a brand, or you can ride for, like, a brand with a bit more lifestyle. I think Ed's art and Ed's kind of style of graphics, I feel I relate to it. I relate to the period. I relate to the style of doing your own graphics. And that was a big thing. You know, that was the only thing I asked Ed, was, hey, you have to draw all my graphics, though. All of them, every one of them.
That's a prerequisite.
I don't care if it's a little sketch on the board, but I'd like you to draw all of them, and because then it means a lot to me. Right. And that's what else do you need, Jeff? I need nothing else. I don't need anything. That's it. Just give me the graphics that I want, and I'm happy.
So that was
the But the thing that I said to him on it was, you never had to draw your own graphics, right? No one ever told you what to put on your board, right, Ed? I'm the same.
Yeah.
Right, so you understand that, right? Like, it's hard for me to allow other people to do board graphics for me.
Right.
It just is. It never feels right.
Really?
Yeah, I did. I mean, historically, a lot
You've
of
had thousands of boards, probably.
Before, like the Freedom and the brand before Flip and all those graphics,
Sure.
I never necessarily liked a lot of those graphics. Do you know what I mean? Just being honest, I didn't. Some of them I did, some of them I didn't. But the graphics I always gravitated to, like pro graphics, I always gravitated to ones that felt personal, ones that felt like, that's the style of skater is, that's what that guy's into, and his graphic reflects that. Yeah, that's sick. I want to ride that board right now. I might not buy 10 of them in a row because my next board might be an Eric Dressen because I want to learn to skate like Eric Dressen.
I mean, you're describing the 80s.
That's kind of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I started skating in the late 80s, right? And like, so there's always that kind of creative end to skateboard graphics to me that is important. And you get too branded, it gets boring to me. And I think Toy Machine graphics are fun.
What was one of your favorite graphics that you've had over your career?
To be honest with you, I like the Freedom graphic with the two bulldogs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I really like that one. Man.
Who did that one? You did?
Yeah, my friend Falu Caroli, almost the same as Rowley. Falu Caroli is an incredible artist from Argentina. He does a ton of Santa Cruz graphics and a ton of Speed Wheels and OJ and stuff like that. He did a lot of my Freedom graphics, almost all of them.
Oh, awesome.
I liked a lot of those graphics. They were good graphics. So.
Well, also you had control over it too. Like your whole career, I doubt you had control over your graphics, right? They were just kind of burning and turning them.
No, I mean most of them I did. I did, to be honest with you. But if I didn't have my hands on it, I never really enjoyed it. You know what I mean? I never liked to ride it the same way. And whenever I've like had graphics that I've kind of created, like the first Toy Machine graphic with the fists like that, gets me motivated to skate, makes me want to grip the board, set it up, put a sticker on it and go ride. Right? And it's hard to get that feeling your whole life. Right? And so
totally.
I feel a lot like that with it. And I don't know. Ed was really good to me. To just like when I was an 18-year-old kid moving from England, to shiny balls, didn't really know anybody, only had a limited scope of music. I remember I was driving down the road one time, and I think there was an Offspring tape or something like that in the car, and I just had a load of just cheap tapes I bought from like the music store. And I remember we were driving down the road, and Ed just pulled one out of the tape machine. I think it was the Offspring or some shitty like freaking Orange County punk band. Threw it out the window. He just threw it straight out of the window.
Tape.
Yeah, but as it was flying in the air, in my mind, I remember going, yeah, sick. That one must suck dick. That one sucks. Right? So, I don't know. I think Ed exposed me to a little bit more than I think, I don't know, I've ever given him credit to. And him and Deanna both gave me a lot of confidence as a young, man, 18, 20 years old. Wasn't sure of anything, wasn't sure of much. They made me feel comfortable, and that's priceless.
Yeah,
So I'm stoked that it's came full circle, and I'm riding the toy machine now, and
Great.
I feel really motivated to skate. I'm in a good shape of my life. I'm mentally strong and physically strong as I can be. Beating yourself up your whole life. It's like it goes from one leg to the other leg, to your hip, to your back, to your shoulder, to your neck, to your freaking brain, all of it.
Doesn't stop.
So I'm just stoked to be on a team, young team that's active. It's like team that I like, Leo Romero, Braden, and Shiloh Couture. She's a ripper. So there was a lot of that too, when you see like the right team coming together there, and like timing was a big thing too. So the timing of like wanting to ride for Toy Machine and being able to, I sure do appreciate.
It's great,
and
man. I love
starting to trying to film a full part and
Full
everything
part.
Yeah, like it doesn't. Yeah, or whatever a part is a full part. What's a full part?
Whatever's a full part
Is
to
it
you.
2 minutes?
Whatever's a full part to you.
You tell me, is it 2 minutes?
I think 2 minutes could be
is
considered.
good.
I've seen full parts that are 2 minutes.
God, you got to be good though.
It's got to be real good.
It's got to be really good. It's got to be
Yeah.
Tom Penny or someone, right?
Yeah, or could be you. Could be
2
you.
minutes.
Okay, fine.
3.5
8 minutes.
3.5 minutes.
8 minutes.
3 minutes.
That's what I want.
3 to
8
4
minutes.
8 minutes. I
8
just did an
minutes.
8-minute part. That's gonna kill me.
No, but we
8-minute part.
Come on.
I just did like a 7.5 minute part. That like last Thrasher Freedom part was 7
It was
7
long,
minutes or something.
What's
But